Hello, GSA Contractors. This is Josh here with GSA Focus. And I'm coming today with some exciting news, potentially. The GSA has released as of April 29th, which was about a week ago, last Thursday. Here today is May 6th of 2021. The GSA released some news about transactional data reporting. Sounds like a pretty boring acronym by government standards, but it's an exciting one if you're a GSA contractor because it eliminates another boring acronym, the Price Reductions Clause, PRC. And ultimately, if you are in the right SIN, the right GSA category, also known as SIN, then you were eligible to participate in a pilot program for TDR. And that's very exciting because this pilot program, which has been around for about 4 or 5 years now, is proving successful, and the GSA has been releasing data on how they gather, and kind of rate how that program's doing, and the data is coming in good. It's coming in good for buyers and definitely for sellers. In fact, small businesses do better when they are on TDR. Don't know why. If their pricing is more competitive for one reason or another because of the reporting, if the burden of reporting is less, which it definitely is, and that as a result leads to contractors actually wanting to sell more because there's less of a burden to report it. Or there's a different burden to report it. I guess it's a little bit more of a burden, but it's less of a burden to upkeep your contract and match or exceed commercial pricing. So let's dive right in. I'm going to go offline here in picture mode, but you will hear my voice through this, and I'm going to walk you through the news, the websites, fill you in on what it is, what's going on, and all that stuff. Thanks for watching. All right, so let's dive right in. So I'm here on my website right now, and I'm actually going to just kind of run through what the TDR is. And you got to know what the opposite is to know what the TDR is, the Price Reductions Clause. Going back decades, since pretty much the beginning of the GSA Multiple Award Schedule program, the government was tasked with basically asking the question, how are we going to prevent the possibility that a contractor enters the GSA program and sells a part for $100 or a service for $100 an hour on GSA and doesn't charge $30 an hour commercially. So the GSA from early on said, well, let's just attach the GSA prices completely to commercial prices, which was ultimately the GSA taking their hand and reaching it into commercial practices. So as a result, in the end, every GSA contract is negotiated, and what happens is in that negotiations, a basis of award customer is selected. Usually a GSA wants that to be all commercial customers so that you don't have any customer types that are kind of not included in this group, and they will negotiate a discount based off of what those customers receive. So if all your commercial customers get 0% discount, you negotiate with the GSA and they come to you all come to terms with a 5% discount, then that 5% discount off of the commercial price list is what the GSA receives. Now, if you go then and so let's say you give a commercial customer a 10% discount because they're bringing a big project or they're a good friend or in whatever reason, then that triggers this clause. And the price reductions clause will actually trigger, and you will all of a sudden be offering a 15% discount. That's that 5% originally negotiated plus the 10% that you offered to a commercial customer. And that's kind of the way it works. So triggering that clause was the stick. The carrot, of course, is having a GSA contract and having access to all of these opportunities. But it's something that has been, obtrusive and a pain in the neck to vendors on GSA for a long time. Enter transactional data reporting, and I'm actually going to go to this site. This is the Coalition for Government Procurement. I am not endorsing them, but as far as I know, they're the ones that started groaning about the price reductions clause a long time ago. I started seeing a lot of blog posts. They were lobbying and pushing for this thing to go away. And they were ultimately successful because let's go to the next one in the timeline here, August, and in August 2017 blog post on GSA, General Services Administration. See here, let me move my head over here. There we go. GSA moves into the next phase of Transactional Data Reporting Rule pilot program. So ultimately, this was a program that was released to basically say we will, we being the GSA, we will bypass the price reductions clause, but in order to do that, a vendor must agree to get a little bit more granular in how they report their sales, even down to the transaction level. What was bought on in this transaction, what the prices were, all that stuff. Ultimately, the big question in the beginning was, is this a fair trade? And by all accounts, it looked to be like a great thing for vendors and also for the GSA, because just as much as this is a burden on vendors, GSA usually has a bit of a burden themselves to enforce and negotiate and all that stuff for everything inside of the price reductions clause. So this was released, and that kind of brought us to modern day. So 2017, fast forward through 18, 19, 20, 21, here we are. And I get this in my email. Not this. I get a link to this. So on the GSA Interact community, which if you're not part of that, you go to it and become a member, and you get notified on all the happenings in the GSA world. And not just the GSA world, but all sorts of, not just one world, but it's divided into all sorts of GSA worlds. You can pick the world you want to have sent to you. But Transactional Data Reporting Pilot 2021 Evaluation. Transactional data reporting is a pilot program that creates a more effective, less burdensome alternative to legacy pricing disclosure requirements. So far, the pilot is proving our hypothesis that TDR is more effective, less burdensome, blah, 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 the same stuff. We're finding that when TDR is used, government prices are lower, the reporting burden on contractors is reduced, and this is the big one, small businesses even generates stronger sales growth. Didn't expect that one. I thought it'd be pretty much the same, but small businesses are being utilized more when they're having more sales when they're a TDR. They're under the TDR pilot. So Jeff Kosis, the GSA Senior Procurement Executive, offered a blog post with a deeper dive into all that. Nope, this is the 2017 one, the 2021 blog post. Same picture. Isn't that funny? They use the same picture from the 17 to the 21. So they must have an archive. Anyways, I'll have a link to this in the YouTube and in my blog post. Go ahead and click through and read the whole thing. This is where all the gold is. So the big news that I promised at the very beginning of this video that you probably thought I forgot about is that the GSA considers how to build these practices into a broader strategy to expand transparency and create less burden on our industry partners. Expand. Hopefully this expand doesn't just apply to transparency. Hopefully the expand also applies to creating less burden on industry partners. We plan to train contracting officers and blah, 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 blah. Now this is the kind of disappointing part of it all. You'll see up here, the blog post is titled Transactional Data Reporting, TDR, Pilot to Become Eligible for Expansion. Nowhere in the article does it say, a new list of sins is going to be selected and expanded into the TDR pilot program. I wish it said that. I wish I had a little bit more information. I'm kind of disappointed about that. I mean, I'm happy that they're saying they're going to expand it, but it'd be nice if it had a little bit more information. Maybe I missed it. I think I read through this twice, and maybe I just missed it and whatever. But it's not that much of a post. If GSA is listening to this, Jeff Kosis, maybe put a new post up or expand this and give us a little peek. Let us plan and figure out, where's this program going? Where's TDR pilot going? We want to know this kind of stuff. Not trying to call you out. I'm Grateful for all you do. But yeah, give us more details, please. And that's all I got for today. Thanks a lot for listening. Josh, GSA Focus. Uh, Take care.